Alrighty, everybody, welcome to the Southern Cross Dota in-house games of the Thursday night. Southern Cross Dota. I am SCD Dota. Joining me is nobody again because my co-caster is playing in the game again because
Dire team banned.
Well, we just don't have the players tonight. We've got 12 people in the stream, but nobody's coming to play.
Radiant team banned.
Oh well. Anyway, let's get into this Captain's Draft again. Captain's Draft again. On the bands we have
Dire
the
team
Slark and the Bristleback, an AA and a Lion. So very interesting bands there. I'm not too sure about the Dire's bands,
Radiant
but the
team
Radiant bands are
pick.
pretty much legitimate. Nature's Prophet getting picked up first, so some Rat Dota coming out there.
Radiant
Clockwork
team
and
pick.
Lifesteal are picking up the second and the third. Alrighty. Second and third pick. So that's going to be a pretty nasty combination if they can get it off. Clockwork hooking into the no, not even that. Lifesteal are jumping inside of the Clockwork and Clockwork hooking into the enemy team.
Dire team pick.
But there's a lot of mobility with the Storm Spirit coming out to counter that scary combination. Because I think if the Storm Spirit come out, then you don't know where Lifesteal's going to be. Is it going to be in Storm Spirit? Is it going to be in Clockwork? You don't know. The Storm Spirit gets picked up. So does the Sand King.
Dire
And in
team
return, we
pick.
see a Disruptor and a Vengeful Spirit. So some Venge Aura is going to help Disruptor with his
Radiant
knocking
team
on
pick.
people. And Disruptor, who is just a general pain in the ass, as a support. Ha ha ha. Anyway, as we wait for the last two picks, we don't know who it's going to be yet, but we'll find out soon. It is going to be a minute 15 to go. There's quite a few in the pool. We need a support and a hard carry, but it looks it. In fact, it's going to be Darksea going to be picked up, so probably Nature's Prophet in the jungle and the Gyrocopter hard
Dire
carry.
team pick.
Zeus being picked up as the last pick for the middle laner. There's a middle laner, Zeus. Again, wonder if it'd be played by Tinky. No, Tinky's on the other team this time, who's playing Storm Spirit, but Zeus. It's going to be pretty odd combination. Oh well. As we jump into game number 2 of this evening, Southern Cross Dota's in-house night. I'm SCD Dota. Join us every Thursday night for more games.
Prepare for battle.
Anyway, as we jump into the second game, we have introducing our players. We'll start off with the Dire side this time. We have Mush, one of our admins at Southern Cross Dota, playing the Vengeful Spirit. We have at Daredevil Dota, or Daredevil Dan as he is also known as, playing the Life Stealer hard carry, who he is quite well known for. Well, carrying, that is, if you want him to carry. Anyway, on the Disruptor we have Resonance, playing that Disruptor. I'm not too sure. He played a pretty decent game last game. So, it'll be interesting to see how he goes on the Disruptor this time. We have Logical Scope, no surprises there. Another SCD member, or admin, playing, and he does specialise in the offlane, so it should be
30
very good.
seconds
And
to
last but not
battle.
least, we have All Good, someone new for tonight, which is always good, playing the Zeus. Alrighty. On the side of the Radiant, we have Tempest playing the Darkseer. Nature's Prophet is going to be played by Storyteller. On the Storm Spirit in the middle lane will be played by Tinky. Bird Jesus is on the Gyrocopter, and last but not least we have
The
Sydney
battle
on
begins.
Sand King. Alrighty, so let's jump into this game too, and we'll see how it pans out. With the first rune being an invisibility rune on the bottom lane, it's going to be pinged out, but not by someone who can see it. They just know it's there, they don't know what it is, but as we go. Alright, so it looks like we have dual lanes with a... It looks like it's going to be an attempted gank top. Bottom, mid, even. Lanes, ha ha ha, ha ha ha. Anyway, we'll see what happens. Tinky is... Vengeful comes in, but it's going to get spotted out almost immediately. Without the dust, or the smoke I should say, the smoke of the deceit, there's just no way that he's going to be spotted, but in the meantime, Tempest is going 1-1 with Daredevil Dota, or Daredevil Dan. Dan's the man, and he's going to get his supports very soon. Alright, Logical Scope taking a rocket to the back of the head. Now, I mean, I'd probably turn around if I was him, so I didn't take as much damage, but that's only in theory, because in practice it doesn't actually work like that. Anyway, Burgess is playing the gyrocopter. He is going to have to bring the lane all the way back to almost halfway between tier 2. That does mean he's going to be taking a bit of damage, and he only has a ring of protection, so he will be able to continue lasting there. Tempest is using the Iron Shell. It's going to be put on Disruptor though, so that's quite odd. Normally you stick it on to someone who is, you know, like, not like a creep or something, so it does damage to all heroes, but at the same time the creep can die pretty quickly. But anyway, their double down is and 6-3, whilst we have Bird Jesus on 7-4, so gonna continue like this. Why aren't Cogs getting used out? Sydney's gonna get stuck in Mythological Scope. The missile's gonna come in, it probably won't do enough damage. Burrow Strike's gonna actually be used, and the amount of damage that is coming out is quite ridiculous. One more right click should kill it. Sydney is going to have to take that first blood though, because Bird Jesus just couldn't get there.
Strikes the perfect note.
So unfortunately, not the kill for the carry which they wanted originally, but they do get the kill, and so it is 1-0. And I'm sorry to everyone who's watching at the moment, we just got a massive lag spike. I'm not too sure what that was, but we seem to be back to normal. There was no drop frames though, so it's just a little bit of a spike. But we jumped straight back into it. That is if you're on a stream, of course, because the in-game hasn't really changed much. Anyway, Dead of Lower and the Bird Jesus still on approximately the same amount of last hit. They do have the exact same amount of knives, but the only difference is there is a kill on Bird Jesus. Well, he does have an assist, which he gets the bonus gold for. Hoo hoo hoo. Alrighty. We haven't really had a look at this mid lane yet, but the matchup, you would think it'd go in favour of Tinky, which in fact at the moment it is going in favour of Zeus quite a bit. But Tinky, he has got his bottle already, so able to pick up that early invisibility rune. His last hitting is a lot easier than Zeus, but he is, no, he's around the same level. But Tinky, playing Storm Spirit, does have the advantage of the easier right click, but Allgood has the advantage of the Arc Lightning, which he can just spam in lane. A successful double pull for Sydney, so Sandking going to be able to get that pull off successfully. The lane creeps are going to go all the way
Radiant's
back
bottom
to
tower is under attack.
in between the mid tier 1 and tier 2. So there's that. They do get this double stack of the easy camp though. Sandking does spot out this double damage rune mid, but Logical Scope is going to just try and get as much experience as he possibly can. Only level 3 at the moment. Doesn't have a point in Rocket Flare, which would come in handy to try and get some of the last hits.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Sandking does pick up the DD. They might try and go for the kill here. One Burrow Strike in 2 seconds, it probably will get the kill. The Burrow Strike does come out. 2 auto attacks. One from Tinky and one from Sydney does pick up that final kill. I think Tinky was trying to leave it. Sydney was trying to leave it for Tinky, but it didn't quite work. Anyway, the supports rotate in. Mush is going to get the kill. Tinky's going to get it in the thing, but in the disruption wall, but not quite enough. Tinky's going to drop, and that is an easy kill for the Radiant. After that went for the Dire. Sorry, after that went a little bit bad. Alrighty, so 1 kill now for the... Actually 2 kills in the mid lane now. 1 falling to the Radiant, 1 falling to the Dire. But only because of that rotationals of the supports. Which... the supports carry the early game, like you've got to be blunt. Carries don't do shit unless they have like a really strong spell, like, well, actually, I suppose in this game the 2 hard carries do have really good spells to sort of, well, do a lot of early gate damage. You've got like the Rocket Barrage from Gyrocopter, and you've just got the enormous right-click damage that Lystilla does really early on, so... Alright, playing in the dark now, by the looks of it. We've got Logical Scope trying to get as much farm as he possibly can. It's gonna get... the pings are gonna go at Logical Scope. He's going to take a missile to the face. A massive homing missile, I think that's called. No, it's called a call down. a massive cooldown because the homing missile is a little one, a little shooting missile thing. But the cooldown does pick up that kill, and that is another easy kill on the off lane. Daredevil Dota has the Iron Shell on him. Oh, Resonance screwing up his combo there, using the glimpse a bit too early. Like, that would have probably been a kill if they did it right, because the kinetic field got up and it was looking to go in favour of them kill wise, but it just didn't come out. So if we have a quick look at the levels, we've got level 7s on the mid and the gyro, but only level 6 on the Dyer's mid and carry, so it will be a rough game for the Zeus, who has already had to go back. He does have a bottle and boots, but he doesn't have anything else, whereas the Storm Spirit has a wand, I guess, which is just a little bit of a difference, but just enough to sort of survive. Well, maybe not so much against the Zeus, but Arc Lightning does get them charges up quite nicely. Supports have rotated in bottom. Well, at least Resonance has. And Logical is going to have fun farming a little bit easier. Meanwhile, mid lane just missed a kill on the Sand King. Mush? I'm not too sure what happened there. It looked like Mush was going to get jumped on, but just didn't. Nothing really occurred from it. Not too sure. Anyway, got Lifestealer, who is happily farming up the top, and Tinky is in the middle, just doing what he can. Visibility Rune's gonna get spotted mid, or bottom. It's not gonna be mid, but Mush is gonna pick it up. Tinky rotating towards that rune, did try to go for it, but just quite couldn't. Burgess is gonna get pinged out. Logical is only level 5, so he doesn't have a hook shot at the moment.
Homing in.
Got enough. Tempest dropping really low actually, so nothing happening there. Not much is really happening. It's just sort of a farm fest with a few kills happening every now and then. We are averaging 1.5 kills a minute, which is not bad, but still, like, especially in Australian Dota, like, a lot of kills happen really early, and it's whoever asserts their dominance early usually picks up the win. But it's just been a really sort of farmy sort of game. Well, fail ganks early on just have really pointed this game into a sort of a direction where I don't think the players really want it to go. Like the Disruptor Venge combo, they could have picked up the kill, the kill on the Darkseer up here, but when they did try to, the glimpse did come out at probably the wrong time, and it did throw him out of the kinetic field, which is just unfortunate, but it is what happens. Alright. Supports have rotated towards this mid, maybe expecting Allgood to get jumped on by Tinky, but he does hang around the tower because he knows the supports are missing, and knows they might be up to something not good. Might be up to something naughty. They do smoke up though and rotate towards the bottom lane. They might be able to pick up Jesus here. In fact, I think they will. Bench comes out with the stun. Connect fields come out, but the cooldown's going to get used as well. With the Nature's Prophet ulti as well. Mush is dropping very low. Hook shot comes in by Logical. He's going to do no damage. Burgess is going to be able to work out. Heavy Sender coming in by Sydney. It does pick up Logical Scope. Tinky coming in from behind. They're going to try and go for Mush. Not quite enough there. So a 2-for-1 trade. Very unfortunate, but the Zeus ult did manage to pick up the Gyrocopter though. So they do pick up the carry. And they have rotated their whole team besides the Darkseer towards that bottom lane. But at this point, Storyteller can push towards this. Will help push this bottom tower.
Dyer's bottom tower is under attack.
Unfortunately, he has no mana to be able to do such a thing. Maybe if he got Arcane Boots then he might have, but doesn't look like it.
Dyer's bottom tower is under attack.
Rotations towards this bottom lane. be looking to do something.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Sorry about that. Anyway, they're going to continue pushing. There is 4 of them rotated towards here. Logical might be looking to hit hookshot in soon, because he has reached level 6, but only time will tell what will actually happen. Resonance is going to get picked up, the Barrow Strike comes through, as well as a homing missile. A lot of damage coming out from Bird Jesus, and he does drop the cooldown, gets done down, but Zeus should be able to kill him with the Thunderbolt. So a 7 for 4 at the moment. Storyteller is going to get out with his teleport. His global teleport, the worst move in the game if you're hating split pushes. It just sucks. But anyway, that is a 2 for 1 trade. No, 1 for 1 trade, and Darkseer has actually died top.
Attack.
So Daredevil Dan picking up a single kill on him there, which is always it's really handy when your carry can get these solo pickoffs. So he is slowly dragging them back into this game. 7-5 is the score at the moment. He does have the most last hits, with a lot of pressure going on Bird Jesus. Has finally got some space to start farming.
Regeneration.
He does have a Drums of Endurance, but I don't think it can measure up to the fact that Dan has got a Midas end phase already. Like, at 12 minutes, it's not a bad effort, especially with 2.2k in the bank. Now, that's a lot of money. He will most likely be going for an AC. He might pick up an early basher, just to sort of lock down the Nature's Properties if he's trying to teleport away or something along them lines. But, not too sure.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Right, it looks like Disruptor and Sand King are going to try and do something on Dan up in the top lane. Tinky has also rotated up, but Logical Scope is coming in from behind, so maybe something's going to happen. In fact, they are going to go for him. He's going to have no time to pop up the Enrage. In fact, he will be able to use the Infest, though. Not too sure which creep it's going to be in, but he should be able to get out just in time. Very, very lucky. Dan, he does get out. I don't think there will be any rotations toward it, but very, very lucky. He does pick up his armlet, so not going for that early AC, but he does get the armlet. I mean, an early AC would be very, very helpful, but not quite. Well, an armlet also helps too, because the amount of damage and shit you can do with it. Anyway, we have Bird Jesus. We have Bird Jesus pushing down this bottom tier 1. So, meanwhile, while the whole entire team is top, trying to push down at one tower by themselves, we have Bird Jesus just trying to push. But Nature's Wrath comes in to help as well. Maybe they will jump in at the moment, now, because they know that Prophet's there as well.
Under attack.
In fact, they're just going to go straight for it. Epicenter is going to be channeled by Sydney. He's going to come in. He's going to pick up the Zeus with the Barrow Strike, and too much damage coming out. Daredevil then coming in, but too much damage. He will, in fact, Sandstorm. Tempest coming in and using that. He does use the vacuum to pick up the kill on the Zeus, so they lose one for an attempt on the tower. Meanwhile, they're getting a tier 2 pushed in.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Sydney comes in with the Barrow Strike and the Sandstorm. Vacuum comes out of the world, but Daredevil is just going to be able to walk out quite easily. Ho ho ho, as he walks back into the jungle, because he has his Midas up. Midas gaming. Can't live with it, can't live without it. Resonance rotated towards this bottom lane to try and just push out the Nature's Prophet and the Gyro, which did successfully happen. But I'm not too sure what's going to happen in this late game. Gyro does have his drums, and he does have a Mithril Hammer, so he'll most likely be going for a BKB. Early BKB will really help, but Lifestealer does have an armlet, he does have a Midas, and he does have phase boots, all at 15 minutes with 1200 gold in the bank. So, it'll be interesting to see how the two carries go against each other. Smokes up by Mush and Resonance. They're going to rotate towards this bottom lane. Maybe pick up Sydney.
Dire's bottom
fact-
tower is under attack.
I'm not too sure which way they're going
Radiant's
to go.
middle tower is under attack.
Swap is up on Mush. Teleports in by Dan. He's going to come in on Bird Jesus. Open Wounds is doing quite a bit of damage. Tinky coming in from behind though. Not going to be able to do enough. Sydney coming in, but we have Go from behind. Just Connect Field coming up. Mush doing a bit of damage. Sydney going to get thrown back towards the tower and will die. So a 2-for-0 trade, getting a little bit too close. Dan coming in and sort of baiting them close, saying, come at me, you know, I'm the carry. You can fight me. Did a bit of damage to Gyro and then ran off with his Enrage. And then, well, the rest is pretty self-explanatory.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
They do fortify for this one though,
Radiant
but I don't
structures
think
are
they have
fortified.
the manpower to be able to contest this one.
Dire's middle tower
Like, they
is
have
under
3
attack.
players still in the base.
Radiant's
Sand King's going to come
bottom
in
tower is
though.
under attack.
Teleport in. He does have an epicenter to be able to channel. He's going to channel. In fact, Burrow Strike's going to come in. It's going to hit Dan. He's going to take a lot of damage to full force, but he should be able to toggle it. His armor toggle it. I'm going to call it from now on toggle it. But he does die. Glimpse is going to get used on Tinky. He's going to go back before he can kill all good. But the cooldown is going to pick up the kill. And that is going to be a 3-for-1 trade. And they don't even pick up the tower. They drop it really down, like far down, but they just don't get the tower. But yep, that is my new word of the night. The more you know, it's going to be toggle it from now on.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
A little bit of smack talk coming out, but
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
they still pick up that kill though, the kill on the Zeus.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Bird Jesus is 3, 3, and 4, but the supports are just really putting him in a good
Dire's
position.
top
We have a look
tower
at the
is under
kills.
attack.
We've got Sand King who's 5 and 2, Bird Jesus 3 and 3, and then we have on the Dire team we have all good 3, 4. So
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
I think he's going to come in. Sand King
Tower is under attack.
going to come in with the Burrow Strike, but Logical's going to actually, Mush is actually going to swap him out. Sand King is going to get hit by Logical Scope by the hook shot, but and then here comes the massive disruption. Is going to do quite a bit of damage, and that will be a dead Sand King.
And found it wanting.
I'm not too sure what that's called. That's Static Storm, in fact. Static Storm just really helping that silence. As well as the ward though, that really helped with the kill. Buy wards. Do it. Always buy wards when you play games, because, you know, vision is the beast. But Jesus is just hanging around in the jungle. He does have a BKB up now though, so he'll be able to join the team fights knowing that he'll be able to survive a bit longer, surviving the magic damage from Zeus and Disruptor and Vengeful Spirit. So quite a bit of magical damage actually, so Zeus especially, who is only level 11 at the moment. We've got Tinky who is all same level,
Where's the party?
but we'll come in and help push the lane. At the moment though, I'm liking Dire's split push. In fact, Mush is going to get going on by Sydney. A solo kill, a really easy solo kill. He does have his Blink Dagger up at the moment though, too, so very dangerous position. Epicenter, Burrow Strike and Sandstorm, what can you do? Especially when you have your support who is almost, well, is as high as the mid laners. Tinky's going to go in, but take a little bit too much damage from the static field and the kinetic field, and one auto attack will kill him off. Allgood's going to come in and get killed by Bird Jesus, who has the BKB. Daredevil then going to come in from behind with the armlet. Should be able to kill him. Infest is going to be used. Ooh, not enough damage coming out, and Bird Jesus will be hasted to safety. In fact, he will turn around and take a few last hits before he does power back. Meanwhile though, whilst the Radiant are getting kills, they're also split pushing, so it is quite... they're in a really good position. They've got the Nature's Prophet who is split pushing, and who's ganking as well, nonetheless. He does have a Hand of Midas and a Shadow Blade. It does look like he is going for a Maelstrom, and he will be going into an absolute split pushing beast. They do turn all their attention though towards this top tier 1 tower, so they're going to try and do that. Daredevil Dan is going to get spotted by Tinky. He will have to pop the Rage though to run away, and the Teleport as well. Tinky's just going to stand there and watch him. Very well played.
Dire's top tower is
Does
under
waste
attack.
135 gold for it, but he does get away, so... Did get to the tower there, so he probably could have went to the tier 2, which would have probably been a little bit better, but...
Dire's top tower has fallen.
He does die. Not die, he does survive, I should say. So it's always a good thing. Anyway, they're going to try and take down
Dire's
this
top
tier
tower
2.
is under attack.
There is going to be a response from the Radiant though. They are going to try and do something. But Jesus is going to get spotted out. Logical Scope going to come in. He's going to truck the flare. He is going to get the hook shot.
Radiant's
He's going to land it.
tower is under
Bit of
attack.
BKB is going to be popped by the Bird Jesus. He's going to take a lot of damage from the right clicks by Daredevil Dota, who does have a basher up at the moment. He's going to get chased away. Meanwhile, Tinky coming in from behind. And no, it was Sydney who's coming in from behind, but Mush is going to be able to kill him quite easily. Meanwhile, the Bird Jesus going to get killed by the Rocket Flare. Tempest coming in from behind. Going to try and do something. In fact, not going to be able to. Haste is going to be used. So quite a bit happening there. It's just all these fights breaking out everywhere. Mush is actually going to get spotted out. Vacuum's going to get used. It's going to cancel a teleport, and that will be the death of Mush. Dan's going to come in. He's going to get the bash on Storyteller, but he's going to have to run away. Tinky coming in. Just too much right-click damage. Especially with Overload. It's just a bit too much that he can handle. Trying to toggle as well. He's trying to do his togglet, and he doesn't do it successfully. Anyway, Storyteller is going to continue pushing this tier 2. Rocket comes out and does a little bit of harassment, but he's going to use his Treants to continue pushing down. Clockwork picking
Dire's
up a
top tower is
Blade
under
Mail.
attack.
It's not Clockwork, it's Zeus. So he's got a Blade Mail and he's got a Dust of Appearance, so just a little bit of armor and a bit of... because he's jumping straight in and he's going to get focused really, really early in the team fight, so get the Blade Mail going, and that should help your team more than, well, the right clicks that you will do, which is pretty much none if you're going to get
Dire's
absolutely
top
beaten
tower
on.
is under attack.
Over here now. Warriors of the wood.
Storyteller rotating towards the mid. He's going to try and push down this tier mid tier 2.
Killing
But Tinky is going to jump straight out in kill the Disruptor, but the right click damage from Daredevil Dan is just too strong. Tempest is going to get caught out by Logical Scope.
Double kill.
Dan's just going to come in and hit him once and pick up that kill. Fair bit of damage. Like, he's got quite a bit too. If we have a look what he's got, he's just got a basher, an armlet, and he's got 15k in the bank. So, not 15k, 1500.
Uproot you.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Anyway, I believe the Radiant are definitely up in the they do have the hold on the Dire at the moment. They do have the tower, the kill advantage and the tower advantage. If we have a look at experience, it is 1200, slowly dipping back towards the Dire, but still about, 10,000, 12,000 in favour of the Radiant. If we have a look at the gold, it is about the same. It's actually starting to turn back up towards the Radiant. Was it Radiant or was it Dire? It was Radiant. Dire is on the bottom because Dire is the bad guys. And good trumps evil. Hoo hoo hoo. Unless you're playing Dota.
Coming in.
Because then the Dire win a lot of the time. Quite a bit.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Anyway, Storyteller rotating towards this top lane is going to continue pushing that one back a bit. He will be able to deny this tower though, so that's always a good thing. He will turn immediately around to it and pick it up.
Radiant's top tower has been
A
denied.
a lovely little picture being drawn on the mini map here.
Illusion!
Right around here. Look at all these lines. That is fantastic.
Do it with flair.
That's weirdo. Anyway, Logical Scope's going to get caught out by the rockets. He's going to turn around Storyteller. He does have a Nyx inside him, and he's going to blow him up. So, popping that dust, which is probably unnecessary. Benji's going to get going on, though, in the back of the game. Tempest taking a lot of right-click damage from Dan, but... Ooh, Dan actually taking a lot of damage. He's going to get orchided.
Over here now!
Tinky's going to come in from behind, but Dan's just going to turn around and try and beat him. All good, gonna throw out that ulti, and it's going to pick up the kill on the Storm Spirit.
Double kill.
Gets a double kill on the Darkseer with Thunderbolt, and they're going to continue chasing Bird Jesus. If the Logic Scope gets close enough, he doesn't get the cogs off. Just unfortunate. Just misses out, but that was a 3-for-1 trade. The only person that the Radiant got was a Vengeful Spirit, which was a support. Meanwhile, they're losing 3 of their 4 core heroes. It is a 1 Protect 4 lineup with Sand King, but Sand King probably has a higher net worth than a lot of the heroes in this game. In fact, he does. He has a higher net worth than Darkseer, Clockwork, Venge, and Disruptor, so he's a very, very happy support. He's able to pick up so many solo kills. He is going for what it seems like an Aghanim Scepter, so... Anyway, Bird Jesus just juggling now, trying to get what he can. He does have a BKB and a Yasha as well as his drums, so... Will be able to push by himself quite effectively. If we go back and have a look at Dan's build, he does have 3.1k saved up, so it's quite interesting what he's going to go for. He will probably go for an Abyssal Scepter, because, well, why else would you be saving up so much gold?
Incoming.
Rocket's going to spot out Tinky, who's planning a Static Remnant next to Roshan, so they can just get a bit of vision and see what's going on. They will be spotted out next to the secret shop, though, and...
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Logic Scope is in fact, Dan is inside Logic Scope, so they might be looking to jump on someone here. In fact, we've got a few lines drawn up. Meanwhile, Storyteller's pushing his top lane. He will be able to pick up the tier 2. No teleport rotation in. In fact, there is going to be one by Zeus. Storyteller is going to have to run away.
Boom, there it goes.
He will hang around though and maybe try and pick up the last hit, but here comes Logical Scope with Dan inside him. Storyteller hiding up in the top part of the map. He will wait till all good's gone and then probably jump in and try and get the finish off that tower.
Pull roots and
In fact, that's exactly what he does. Just waits a little bit. Trance in front. Cool little trance. Look like snake trees or something. Anyway, meanwhile, this is Roshan's going on, and they just have no idea. Like, they're too concerned about Storyteller at the moment to be able to really contest Roshan. But it looks like the Dire can't actually finish him off. It's quite funny. Storyteller is actually going to get going on. Dan coming in.
Killing spree.
Too much damage coming out. The dust really helping there with the Shadow Blade, and they do pick up the kill on Storyteller, who is ratting it up, as we say in the trade.
Dire's top tower has been denied.
Sydney is doing quite a bit of farming,
Dire's
actually.
middle tower is under
Sandstorm
attack.
and Burrow Strike in the creep wave. Like, you normally want to leave that to one of your core heroes, but he does pick it up. He does have like one of the highest net worths in the game. Well, not highest, but I mean, it's almost higher than the middle laner for the opposition. So maybe we go back to the last hits and denies. Quite heavily in favour of the Dire. Actually, no, more of the Radiant. They do have 2 major farms though, so that's probably a thing to keep in consideration. Looks like they're ready to group up in the middle lane, as well as the Dire, so they might be looking to teamfight soon, but I'm not too sure who would win. I mean, if Storyteller came in and fought as well, then maybe we would see something, a really decent teamfight, but 4v5, I don't think the Radiant have enough to fight. In fact, they have been winning a lot of their fights, but I just don't think, with Dan getting the items that he does have now. In fact, he's going for a Reaver. Instead of, I thought he was going to pick up an Abyssal Blade, but he looks like he's going for a Heart. Logical Scope's going to get picked up. Sydney's going to come in with the Burrow Strike. Burgess is coming in as well. Dan's going to get run away with that Enrage, but Connect Field's going to come up, as well as the Static Storm. Tempest dropping very low. The ulti coming out as well. Calldown's going to get thrown down. Tinky's going to come in with the thing. He's going to dodge the Magic Missile. Response, Resonance is going to take a lot of right-click damage and will die to Sydney. Daredevil Dan is going to take a lot of right-click damage as well, but Zeus is trying to do all he can in the background. Dan is going to have to run away on very, very little HP. Probably not quite what he wanted. Anyway, this should be an easy tier 2 for the Radiant. A 2-for-1 trade there.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Quite a bit happening. They will try and go for the Roshan now. They will have Nature's Prophet helps this time, so they should be able to get it quite easy. Roshan is level 30. He breaks the mechanics of this game. Roshan is a cheater, everyone. Level 30. But he's very slow. He's got no mana either. And the Roshan finally falls. Gyrocopter picking up that Aegis. Here comes Dan. He's going to try and go on Sydney. That looks like. But Storyteller comes in with that. With the Sprout. But Logical Scope's going to come in from behind. Pick up that.
The sun's pale sister shines upon
Wow, a lot of damage coming out. Logical Scope going to come in with the hookshot. Picking up. We picked up Nature's Prophet. Nature's Prophet who bought back. But Dan getting forced off towards Tempest, but Tempest is going to be able to haste out quite easily. But yeah, no, quite a bit of that was really funny. Tinky jumped in front of Logical Scope, but he still had his Tin Can battery assault going, so wasn't able to do much more. He did die as well too, so which is really unfortunate, but it is the way of the game. Maybe looking to pick up the second tier tower, but Sydney's going to come in with the Burrow Strike and the Sandstorm. Might be able to pick up a kill. In fact, probably won't. Sydney dropping very low. In fact, Mush is going to come out with the swap. Bird Jesus doing a lot of damage. He still has an Aegis though. But he does pop the BKB. Sydney coming in from behind. He does get this Burrow Strike off. Orgwood dropping very, very low. He does get the kill. Sand King does die as well. Daredevil though is going very crazy. Or Dan, as he is also known as. But he does lose his life. That is a full team wipe for the Radiant. And Storyteller immediately teleporting to the top tower, the tier 3, and he's going to try and push this down. Whilst we have a Gyro and a Storm Spirit going to continue pushing this mid. Dan buying back, he's going to go towards
Dire's top tower is under
try and stop
attack.
Storyteller, but I don't think they can do much because he has to either defend that one or he has to defend the bottom. Tinky's going to come in. The Disruptor does get the glimpse off. So Dan's going to be alright. He did get orchided, but Burgess is coming in from the bottom, from the middle. Going to try and take his tower, but they just didn't have enough time to take any towers. Dan's buyback was probably really worth it because he did stop Storyteller from taking the tower, and he wouldn't have gotten back up till about now. So, but Jesus, he has lost his Aegis.
Bottom
So
tower is under attack.
just that the Ancients playing a little bit aggressive. But as we speak.
Coming in.
As we speak, they don't have any tier 2s left, whereas the Radiant still have 2 tier 1s, so I don't think they can. I think Dire are just too far behind at the moment to be able to do much. But if we have a look at the net worth, they just rather like Danny's still in there, but Gyrocopter's starting to catch up now. Even though Dan has a Midas, Gyrocopter, who is 6'4" does have a relatively similar net worth.
Boom, there it goes.
Only 200 gold behind? Yeah, only about 200 gold behind. Anyway, I think what the Dire need to do now is they need to come in from this way. Or at least come this way.
It's off.
Try and stop this one from coming in. But at the same time, try and stop this rotation from coming around here. Like, if they sort of stand around here, they're sort of bottlenecking themselves around there. I just want to draw. I'm making no sense to myself whatsoever. I just want to draw because it's hella fun. But yeah, if they stand around here, they do have the high vision from up here. So if they start sort of roaming towards here, where the Radiant do have the ward, they start the bottleneck down here. And, yeah, oh, hello line. Whee! I don't actually know how to stop that, there we go. But yes, that is what well, that's a fight in their side. Like, I mean, they've got the wards up there. They want to sort of fight around in this area. If they start fighting anywhere around here, then it's just going to be like it's just going to be really hard for them to take it because like it's a bottleneck, and the Radiant just have so many heroes that can just jump around and really make good sense of that tight space. Haste is in the bottom lane. Oh look, it's even underwater. Woo! Oh, this is actually really fun. Screw casting, I'm drawing dicks. Alright, anyway. There are 4 men up in the top lane. 5 men in fact, because Clockwork is inside.
And it's off.
Clockwork is inside Logical. Nyx is inside Logical. But I don't think
Dire's bottom tower is under
they
attack.
need to force a fight outside of the high ground. The Dire know that Radiant can't force a fight inside at the moment. I mean, Tinky might be able to come in and do a bit of damage, but besides that, there's nothing they can really do inside the well above the high ground. They just need to slow siege, take the advantage
Do it with
of
flair.
that, try and get a tower as soon as they can, and then just try and pressure that Brax as soon as possible. If they can continue doing that, they will probably pick up the win. But at the same time, Dire do have a a pretty decent team to turtle with. Logical Scope missing the hook shot. He is going to get done upon. Daredevil Dan is going to pop out just in time for the Barrow Strike. The Epicenter is going to get cancelled, but Storyteller taking a lot of damage now in the rear. Dan won't be able to chase him though. Bird Jesus is going to do a bit. Tinky coming in from behind. They're going to pick up all good, but Dan coming in, be able to do a bit. Sydney is underneath that ward. He will take a lot of damage. Dan taking a bit too much damage. He does pick up the gyro though. Gets forced out by Logical.
Has fallen.
And Tinky won't be able to continue that fight. The pursue.
Dire's bottom barracks
So
have fallen.
he will be. Well, he will
Dire's
sort of just hang
bottom
back.
barracks have fallen.
Continue slow sieging the tower down. In fact, in this whole time, Storyteller, who they didn't even win the fight without Storyteller, but Logical Scope coming in now, picking up that solo kill on him.
Uproots me.
He does get that solo kill, which is quite funny.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Do ping out Roshan, but he's not quite up yet. But yeah, as I said, Storyteller, who was out of the fight for that whole time, took a whole Rax. So whilst the Dire were losing that fight, like around here, Storyteller was still taking the Rax here. So each to their own. The slow siege will continue most likely, but with the bottom lane pushing a lot harder than what the other lanes will be. Sydney using an Epicenter plus his Barrow Strike. Dan's going to actually be thrown out of the...
Killing
Well, swapped out of
spree.
the the static storm. He's going to continue chasing Tinky, but I don't think Dan will be able to do enough. Tinky is going to use the teleport with the ball lightning and we'll be able to get out. So a 3-for-1 trade. Sand King really setting up that game really nicely with the Epicenter. Epicenter into Burrow Strike into a Sandstorm. It's a really devastating combination that can come out from one hero. Something you don't really want. Looks like Roshan will be up in another minute and a half, I think that is. I think that's a minute, and that's about a half a minute. All Good does disconnect. I'm not too sure if it was a rage quit or if it was a... Tinky does come in, but Dan is going to... He's just going to jump in and stand there. Tinky, what's going on, mate? What's going on? Couldn't commit to that fight? Oh well. Anyway, Dan does manage to get out alright. Goes back to farming. He might be looking to get an AC now, because there is a fair bit of right-click damage on this Radiant side. I think if Dan picks up the AC, it will help him quite a bit, especially with the attack speed. Like, it'll proc a lot more bashes. It's just something that's really necessary on a lifestealer. They move towards Roshan now, still not up for another few seconds. It does look like he rage quit though, so it's a bit unfortunate. Especially because this is a fun in-house sort of thing. It's like not meant to be too... No, it's just meant to be chill out, have fun, and he's left, so it's a bit disappointing. Anyway, I'm going to get spotted out in this top. Epicenter's going to be channeled, and Burrow Strike coming out as well. Tinky coming in as well. Just too much damage is coming out from the Storm Spirit. He does pick up the 2. Logical Scope trying to teleport to something, but not being able to. Dan's going to go jump inside one of the creeps, and it won't happen. He goes into the wrong one. They are going to let the creeps... No, they're going to try and let the creeps kill the...
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
The little dude, but no, he jumps out and he should be able to get out fine, but in case... No, he does... Tinky does jump on top of him and a lot of them just come out. The homing missile coming in as well, and that is a dead Nyx. GG does get called. It is a 38-27 game, heavily in favour of the Radiant. They took so many towers.
Middle barracks are under attack.
Unfortunately, with the lever, it did bring it down to a 5v4, and that was the game. Alright, anyway, that is a 38-27 game. I'm Ice Cube Dota, joining me is no one because nobody is here. This is the Southern Cross Dota in-house Thursdays. Please stick around. I might be casting another one, I'm not too sure, but if you are sticking around, make sure you hang around, and I will update if I'm casting another one or not. It depends. If I get a co-caster, I'll probably cast another one because my voice is starting to die a little bit, but if I don't, I might, depending on the game type. Anyway, thanks for joining us anyway on the Thursday night. I'm Ice Cube Dota. Please stick around and listen to some great tunes and have some fun.